Bro, please just be about what you say you are. Like, is it really that hard? I mean, maybe that's a shitty question to ask because apparently it is that hard to keep your word, and otherwise everybody would live with integrity, but that's unfortunately not the case. But I was at the gym this morning and I saw something that, like, kind of pissed me off a little bit because I just had no clue what these guys were doing in the gym. So, 7 a.m. gym, there's not many people there. Usually people are there midday or after work or something. So it's usually pretty empty. And you kind of have to make an effort. You have to wake up at like 6 in the morning or 6:30, somewhere around there. An unreasonable time if you want to be at the gym at 7 when it opens. So obviously these guys were there and they put in some effort to plan this out or wake up early to be at the gym this early, and they were just walking around the gym just basically being like just terrorizing the gym, not in a literal sense, but they're literally just walking around and they were stopping at various places throughout the gym, and they were like doing some exercises, but they would only do like 3 or 4 reps, and then it was a group of two guys, right? So two guys would be walking around the gym. They'd stop somewhere. They'd stop at like the dumbbell rack, and then they'd do like one of them would do the exercise for maybe 3 or 4 reps while the other person films them, and then they'd move on. They'd like put it up, put it back, and then go on to somewhere else. And then there was even a point where they were doing this one random ass exercise that I had no clue what it was doing. So let's imagine. Here, let's take this pen. Let's take this pen here. Say this was a bar. So they took this bar off of a squat rack, right? So to do that, you gotta like take it off the pins, and then it was also in like a 4-post squat rack. So they had to get it out of the whole squat rack, and then they just put it on the ground. Mind you, there's like a deadlift area with like where there's bars just on the ground already. So I don't know why they didn't just walk over there, but they went through all that effort. And then they took the bar and they did a deadlift with it, right? But instead of having your hands here, like the normal area where you do a deadlift, because this is, the center of the bar so you can lift the weight up properly, they didn't have any weight on the bars, but instead they would be like, it was like an off-center deadlift. And then they start here and then they perform the deadlift with their hands on the bar off-centered, which I don't know what the point of that was, but I saw them do it there, and then they moved around to a different part of the gym, and on the stationary benches, they walked over there, and then the one guy, he took the bar off of the bench, and then put it on the ground, and did that same kind of off-center deadlift thing. And so, my assumption, obviously, I don't know why I'm being in other people's business, but something like that really just irked me for some reason. I feel like I have to talk about it. So they were filming, obviously, and I have no problem with people filming themselves at the gym because if you haven't seen on my channel, I've done that myself as well. So I have no problem with that. But what's the point of recording yourself, like doing a couple reps just to move on to the next thing, unless you're trying to be like, the only logical thing that I could, or the only justifiable thing that I could maybe gather from that is that they were maybe, filming a video to explain proper form for some of the exercises, but then again, they're doing some weird ass exercises in that sense, and they weren't even really that physically fit, so I wouldn't want to take advice from somebody that looked like them necessarily. Anyways, it was probably like a TikTok video or a YouTube short or an Instagram reel that they were filming because, for one, the phone was vertically, so they were in portrait. And, it's just weird to walk around the gym, do like a bunch of different exercises for like a couple reps and then just move on to the next thing, right? That's odd behavior in the gym. You can't get me wrong there. So that's why they kind of caught my attention. Normally I don't really care what anybody else is doing in the gym, to be honest. I'm more or less focused on what I'm doing and getting my workout in. So that's the thing. I have no problem with people that are recording themselves or filming themselves getting their lift in, and especially to post it on the internet, that's perfectly fine and acceptable with me. But I think I have a problem where you're trying to like pose and, like put out this image that you do go to the gym when you literally go to the gym just to do a couple of reps, and then you film yourself and then you put it on the internet to make some sort of montage or something like that to make it look like you're actually putting in the work. Just like, it's really not that hard to just do the work. Or I guess it is that hard, and that's why people don't do it instead of actually just doing it. But anyways, that's kind of the one thing that kicked off my day today at the gym, where I was just like, what is the point of filming yourself and, trying to put up this image for people on social media that you go to the gym, when in reality you just walk in there, do a couple of reps of like 17 different exercises, have your buddy film it, and then, walk out. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm being too hypocritical. Maybe I shouldn't be involving myself in other people's business, which I guess I shouldn't. But I don't know. I think I'd take an issue with that if somebody's trying to pose as somebody they're not on the internet, just for, I don't even know what the purpose of that is for, like some some sort of validation from other people that you're like a gym bro or something like that. Maybe that's part of it as well, is that like for some reason on the internet, going to the gym now is like trending. So like it's a trend. It's considered a trend if you go to the gym, or if you're like a gym rat, and that's cool on social media now, which is very interesting, because why can't that just be, part of everybody's lives? That's kind of beyond me and whatever social media trends are going on nowadays. But yeah, that's kind of just what I wanted to talk about. Let me know if you have any thoughts on this. Stay on target, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.